Yo, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I am your host, the jeweler himself, VVS Blackout, and today we are going to do something a little different. Something that I see very few channels doing on YouTube, but something that I've always talked about when it comes to Twitch streams or just outside of content creation in general. It's the topic of if a game is dead or not. Depending on who you talk to, some may classify a dead game as something that's fallen out of obscurity, while some people believe that it's when a community starts to dwindle down so much that the game just doesn't really get supported anymore. And you know, since I'm all about giving my opinions here, I think a dead game is... Oh, you've gotta be kidding me. Okay, now that we're back, personally, I believe a game is technically dead whenever the developers and the community stop pushing out updates or providing mods or anything for the game, and it just slowly fades into obscurity. Regardless of your opinion, people love to talk about if a game is dead or not. And the question I want to ask is for a game that I've recently posted content about. Is Modern Warfare 2 really dead? Let's be brutally honest about it.
Now, at 90 minutes to 7, it was billed as the game of the decade and drew hundreds of fans to London's Leicester Square late last night for an event which looked rather like a film premiere.
You know, Modern Warfare 2 doesn't need an introduction as to what it was and where it came from and all that, but for the sake of the video, I'll explain it. Modern Warfare 2 was released on November 10th of 2009 and was developed by a company called Infinity Ward. And I am not lying when I say that this game went on to smash global records. And to this day, some people think Modern Warfare 2 is the best Call of Duty game of all time, and even the best video game of all time. Now, what is one thing that we all remember about Modern Warfare 2? Distinctly, the first thing that kind of comes to mind is the campaign. And the campaign was lovely. The campaign was an experience in and of itself. It had a great storyline, great maps, great drama, and even introduced one of the most iconic characters in Call of Duty history today, Ghost. Now, I don't know how many of you remember this. What I'm about to talk about is known as the most brutal, most disturbing mission in any video game, No Russian, aka the airport scene.
A popular new video game actually allows you to be a terrorist and kill people. Take a look.
And no matter if you call it the airport scene or No Russian, people will automatically know what you're talking about because of that. And as a kid, I remember playing this mission and just looking at it and being like, oh my god, this is brutal. And I want to say the reason why there was almost 90 million people playing this game was because of that one mission. People wanted to experience if it was really that bad, and some people got so outraged about it, they started complaining and getting people to cancel the game. And because of it, Infinity Ward had to post a disclaimer saying that, hey, the part that you're about to play is kind of messed up. You can skip it if you want, but it would put you towards the end of the level. Now, there have been videos of people playing this game without massacring the civilians, and it doesn't really change the outcome of the mission. And I'm not going to tell you what the outcome is because you can go play it yourself. 250,000 players had to return to Modern Warfare 2 to earn one more achievement in the game. And unfortunately, I couldn't find any stats on Xbox, but what I did find on PC was that on the average of 500 players are playing the multiplayer and about 500 are playing the campaign client. Now that's about 1,000 people, not anywhere near the 40 million people that were originally playing the game, but still. Now you're probably thinking, wow, this game only has 1,000 players. Like, why is it still so popular for people to talk about? Well, let me explain. Even though Infinity Ward had stopped support for this game many years ago, there's a modding community called X Labs that made a free multiplayer client called IW4X. I think that's pretty damn cool. This multiplayer mod has been played by the likes of Merc Music, by this awesome guy I met on Twitch named Potter, who was in the FaZe top 5. Pretty much anyone big or small, they've played this game. Now, one community that has certainly came back to this game and just flocked back to it immediately was the trick shotting community. So a lot of you are probably wondering, why do they flock back to this? Well, it's because the snipers in Modern Warfare 2 really set the bar for what quick scoping, trick shotting, or even just using snipers in general should be like, feel like, play like, etc. And of course, with these newer Call of Duties, it's almost impossible to quick scope and trick shot, but in Modern Warfare 2, there was a community within itself that admired it. You know, and with an average of about 400 players on the multiplayer client, there's still a full list of things such as vanilla maps, custom maps, unpatched weapons, custom camos. The list is endless. Unfortunately, from what I heard recently, is if you try to play Modern Warfare 2 on console, prepare to meet some hackers. Then again, I heard the servers were dead anyways, so we'll never know. Now let's move on to something that we were asking for, but we didn't really get everything for. Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. Now, whenever people saw Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, they were ready. They were wanting to go back to the game that, hell, probably made them fall in love with Call of Duty, but they were ashamed to find out that it was just the remastered campaign. That didn't stop almost millions of players to go back to that and play just the remastered campaign. What pissed a lot of people off though was that the remastered campaign costed $20 and the full Modern Warfare 2 game costed $20. I want to say that the only reason why the remastered campaign was $20 was because you got the beautiful OG Ghost and not this abomination, but this beautiful bastard right here.
Its thirst cannot be quenched until the last.
So we talked about Modern Warfare 2, we talked about some nostalgic stuff, but let's get to the question. Is Modern Warfare 2 a dead game? Kinda. I know, first episode I'm already throwing in situations and loopholes and all this other stuff, but just bear with me for a second, okay? Statistically, yeah, the game is dead, but community-wise, it is not dead. The community will refuse to let this game die. Either it be the vanilla client or the modded client, nothing's going to kill Modern Warfare 2. On Twitch, there are streamers right now who are doing trick shot lobbies, and it is one of the most magnificent things you can ever see because immediately there's a connection built between the streamer and the viewer. And even in a video like this, I mentioned Modern Warfare 2, and a lot of y'all are already looking back at your childhoods and thinking, wow, that was a time to be alive. Now, without the loopholes and the what ifs and everything, is Modern Warfare 2 dead? No. In fact, I think it has a long time to go before it dies and the game is just no longer available or the game just doesn't get played anymore. But there will always be people playing the multiplayer, the campaign, the survival, all of that. And a lot of people have been wanting a Modern Warfare 2 remastered, and then that's why I come in and say, if you want a old Call of Duty game remastered, quit buying the new ones and keep bugging the hell out of them about it, because eventually they'll find out that if the newer CODs aren't making the money but the old CODs are still being played, what's there to do? Go back to the older CODs. Now, let me ask the question to you. Is Modern Warfare 2 a dead game? Let me know in the comment section. Also, while you're down there, consider liking and possibly even subscribing to the channel. I don't normally ask things like that, but you know, I thought I would this time. Thank you in advance. But ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, the Driller himself, VVS Blackout, going dark. I'll see all of you in the next one. Keep it brutal, keep each other safe, and keep your head up. Later!